بنحبك يا هند.
In the neighborhood where I live, people love to celebrate any occasion. And with every celebration comes a plethora of fireworks. Almost every other night we'd hear the late arriving sounds of the harmless explosions, but eventually they stopped being the only sounds we would hear. Soon news of bombs and gunshots increased as the fireworks decreased, but their sounds still echoed in our ears. The sounds of the illuminations began being replaced with noises of bombs and gunshots, but my talk is not about bombs, gunshots, or violence. My talk is about how we began asking whether those sounds are fireworks or just bombs. No, sorry, I mean bombs or just fireworks. Not that the just matters. Because like many other words, we no longer understand the true meaning of what just is or anything about just is, because with every word our generation utters, any and all meaning seems to dilute in a vast ocean of inconsiderate speech, because we evolved into a generation of insensitivity and selfishness. One of my friends once told me that he is clinically depressed. My heart sank to the pit of my stomach when he told me that. But what I hate more than his depression, for one, is that our generation has given me something to hate more than his depression. But what I hate more than his depression is the way people are so insensitive about it, about everything. When I'm tired or look upset, more times than not, at least one person will come and ask me something along the lines of, "Why do you look so depressed?" Overlooking how poorly that handles my sadness. Depression does not mean just being sad. At least it shouldn't mean that anymore, because although the dictionary defines it as feelings of severe despondency and dejection, how dare you look at my blank eyes and ask me why I look so depressed when my friend and so many, too many people like him are trying so hard just to barely get through it. How dare you even compare my sadness to depression when I'm not the one secretly getting rid of my medication so my parents don't find out? How dare you so easily roll that word off your tongue when it is the reason some people want to end their life? I receive the same type of comment when I wear all black. As if depression is only a color, but depression is no one's favorite. But what's ironic is that I don't think I've ever seen anyone with depression wearing all black, because my friend could go to his therapist in all colors of the rainbow, in the happiest colors, as if colors that would make him sad, as if all depression is sad, as if depression is just a visitor in the mental state of my friend's mind. But unfortunately, depression now lives there, and unfortunately, depression pays its rent, and unfortunately, depression's rent is paid at any given time in suicidal feelings, bad thoughts, and self-loathing that unfortunately seem to make him never see how good he really is, which is why depression is not a color you wear. Depression is not a color you wear. If it were, then someone please tell us how to take it off, because I do not like to see him slowly suffer. And the thing is, most of us won't even be able to tell that they or anyone is hurting, if even feeling anything at all. So on what basis are we taking the matter so lightly? What if my friend suffering from depression was wearing all black? People would still approach him asking why he looks so depressed, and I imagine at times something inside him would scream, because I am, but he cannot say that because he does not want them to know. And they may never know, so instead he will just divert his gaze because he is afraid the emptiness he feels made way to his eyes, as if wanting to yell to their mouths, "Notice me." And he will force a smile because your comment made him feel so white inside. Last year we were on vacation and most of my friends had gone somewhere by the beach. By the end of the holiday, I had accumulated a number of snaps of people who were sun-raped. Although being sun-raped is nothing like actually being raped, because the tan lines that show how burnt you got only proves that you had your clothes on, but I'm pretty sure that for rape you have to have your clothes off, or more accurately, your clothes taken off, because you spending a little too much time at the beach is not rape, because the sun cannot rape you, but someone's sun can, because although I'm sure a sun who is raped is a star, to someone the sun is an actual star, and it cannot strip you of your dignity, because the sun cannot rape you, but someone's sun can. The sun can only give us life, but maybe that's all that someone's sun wanted, to give life, to make life. That's all they wanted, right? It is said that the sun will one day consume the world, but someone's sun already consumed his or her world the day it happened, because the sun cannot rape you, but someone's sun can. If I was actually raped, if any of the people who sent me those snaps that day would probably know nothing of it. So imagine if me, being actually raped, received a snap of someone on a lovely vacation with the caption, "Sun raped." I'm almost certain the rape I would have gone through would have been nowhere near as exotic. I'm almost certain the rape I would have gone through would have left more than just tan lines on my skin. I'm almost certain the rape I would have gone through would have burned more than just my skin. I'm almost certain the rape I would have gone through would have left effects that would last longer than any tan line could. But if rape is sitting by the beach while the only thing that happens to your body is its unfelt darkening, then please, rape me until I turn black of melanin and people start asking me why I'm so depressed every time they see my skin. One time in class we had a debate with the boys about whose fault harassment is amongst us. Was a girl whose infancy I know was robbed by her harasser. Everyone was so into the discussion, but I knew she just wanted to leave. Some were even taking the debate as a joke at times, not knowing that what they find so humorous was bringing tears to someone's eyes, and every laugh was like a stab in her heart as their conversation brought back memories of her quite literally unspeakable adolescence, and every argument was an indirect yet somehow very personal attack on her. I was sure as the parley progressed and the victims of harassment were being referred to as sweaty water bottles up for grabs, she was reminded of all the times she was a sweaty water bottle and he was parched. She was reminded of how his hands showed her that she was unfortunately so much more than a sweaty water bottle. She was trying to convince herself it wasn't her fault. I overheard a side conversation she was having with someone who said that everyone should just get over the entire topic because there are bigger problems in society. Maybe to you, because as far as you know, the world greets children with open arms, ice cream in one hand, crayons in the other, and nothing but happiness in between. But the world she saw through her now tear-stained eyes greeted children with open arms for the wrong reasons. Her future in one hand, her present in the other, and nothing but secrets to hide in between. I later found out that people who said the wrong things were just doing so for the sake of debate or because they were just joking. And not to make them feel guilty, but just to make a point, I was just joking does not justify your unsympathetic comments, because sure, you may have been just joking, although you probably just didn't think twice about what you wanted to say, fully taking into consideration the weight of its meaning, which I know we are all liable to do at times. But even if you were just joking, I'm sure his doctor wasn't just joking when diagnosing his depression and handing him the pills he now dreadfully had to call his. I'm sure his or her rapist wasn't just joking when he neglected their humanity and did things I hope you do not wish for your worst enemy. I'm sure her harasser wasn't just joking when he neglected her childhood innocence and ignorance for whatever inhumane desire he wanted to fulfill, but that's okay. I'm sure your joke was funny enough to make them forget all that. Scientists say that everything your body does goes back to your brain, but I think Our generation should be the exception because yes, we are speaking, but if you ask us why we said that, we'll argue that's not what we said or meant, and our eyes will dilute in an innocence. You will feel guilty for calling out as if our brains are hearing what we spoke for the first time, and sometimes we'll fool you into thinking maybe you should just take things more lightly. Please, don't let us convince you. And as if our brains will hear this for the first time, depression is not a color and it's not just being sad anymore. Rape is not your friend sitting on your lap, and no, it is not something the sun can do. Someone accidentally bumping into you does not mean you were harassed. Just because a crooked frame frustrates you does not mean you have OCD. Yes, I changed my mind, but no, I am not bipolar. Maybe at times you are confused as to who you are, but you cannot say that you are schizophrenic, even according to the common misconception about what the illness is. I understand the news was shocking, but no, you are not traumatized because in 10 minutes tops, you'll get over it. I can see people are enthusiastic about the food, but Maga'at Somalia is nothing like people overcrowding the breakfast buffet at a 3-star hotel. I have seen my friend in tears because her grandfather may no longer remember her, so I can assure you, forgetting where you put your keys is not one of the symptoms of Alzheimer's. My sister fidgets, but she does not have ADHD. Yes, at times I may get my words or letters mixed up, but I am not dyslexic. Just because you may go wild at times, you cannot say that you are psychopathic. Just because he got the answer wrong does not mean he is retarded. And no, telling someone to kill themselves should not be a phrase you ever say. Because if anything has symptoms or brings back cold memories to someone, then you should not joke about them unless you have them as well. And 50% of people are experiencing some kind of mental dysfunction, as Neil Hilborn put it. So if it's not you, it's the person next to you. So even if the laughs of those who are just as illiterate in the language of reading people's eyes fools us, it is not funny. It is not just a joke. If you think it is just a joke, you do not understand what the word just is. Definitions of the word just. 1, based on or behaving according to what is morally right and fair. Do you think it is extremely morally right and fair to joke about something that someone should go to a therapist for? 2, of treatment deserved or appropriate in the circumstances, or that people deserve to be reminded of what they try so hard to forget, and that it is appropriate for we who do not understand to joke about it? 3, of an opinion well-founded. How well-founded is the opinion that this is a joke? 4, exactly. Is it exactly a joke and nothing more? 5, simply. Is it simply a joke? Our generation does not understand what the word just is or anything about justice, because if we understood the value of treating each other right, then we would not belittle the consequences of treating each other wrong, because it is not 1, morally right and fair. 2, deserved or appropriate. 3, well-founded. 4, exactly, or 5, simply fair to do this to one another.